Well, I'm finally free, but now my pox-crazed wife is nowhere to be found. A mad scientist is hunting her for who knows what reason, and the legendary voodoo sponge that was supposed to cure her has turned out to be useless. Under normal circumstances, I'd ask the voodoo lady for help, but she's sitting in the jail cell next to my archenemy, who may or may not be my best friend, after it's been revealed that she's been the secret power behind most of my travails over most of my life as a pirate. Maybe I should have been a beekeeper like my Uncle Sid. La Esponja Grande has turned out to be La Esponja Lamo. Hey, you!
Hello, Threepwood.
You sent me on a wild albatross chase for La Esponja Grande and promised me it would cure the pox. But after fending off sexually ambiguous merpeople, a giant manatee, and your crazy ex-boyfriend, what do I get for my trouble? This sorry excuse for a kitchen sponge.
La Esponja.
I noticed you strategically left out the Grande from this worthless piece of junk. Once it cured my piddly leftover pox, it didn't have enough mojo left to cure Elaine.
It's not worthless. It is merely young. It must be brought to maturity in order to reach its voodoo-absorbing potential.
Brought to maturity? How am I supposed to do that? Give it a talk about the sponge birds and sponge bees?
Like all infants, La Esponja needs nourishment. It must be fed 6 special voodoo courses to bring it to adult size.
What sort of meal is that?
A feast for the senses. The menu, Threepwood. Take it, and serve the sponge a meal unlike any other.
And then?
It will grow.
Hey, neat. There's a map of the Flotsam Jungle on the cover. No more listening to bees and birds and boars for this mighty pirate. I better fold this up before I put it in my pocket. Hey, you! Again!
Hello, Threepwood.
You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never lied to you.
You're lying right now! All this time, I thought LeChuck was an inhuman monster. Actually, he was an inhuman monster, but only because you made him that way.
Did I? Or was I merely playing my role in a much larger play?
Stop trying to confuse me. We're tired of being puppets in your chess game.
This is no game, Threepwood.
You corrupted LeChuck and sent him out to torment me and Elaine for years. I'll never trust you again.
I don't require your trust, Threepwood. Only your heroism.
I met Coronado de Cava.
My beloved. How was he?
Mad. Bipolar. Life ruined. Just another pawn sacrificed in your theater of the damned.
I never meant to cause him harm.
Sure you didn't. Come on, admit it. You were manipulating Coronado.
Coronado was never touched by my voodoo, even though he sometimes begged to be.
I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing anymore, so I'll just shut up. Have you seen Elaine? Of course, even if you have, I won't believe you.
So whether I have or have not does not matter.
Well, if you do, tell LeChuck, and then have him tell me. So, when I was with DeCava, you might have felt something strange happen.
Ah, you are no doubt alluding to your brief possession of my physical form.
Ha! How did it feel to be the Manipulate Ted instead of the Manipulator for once?
It was Curiously liberating.
You're weird. About this feast for the senses,
What would you like to know?
the first course in the feast for the senses, the napkin. What's up with that?
The table must be set with an eye-catching napkin to entice the sponge's hunger.
The antipasta? Explain.
With the table set, a powerful aroma must encourage the appetite to grow.
I think my nose has been in shock since traversing the inside of a manatee.
I'm sure you will find something.
Can you tell me about the palate cleanser?
Before the main course, the palate must be scalded clean by a powerful taste.
Ooh, like grog?
No, not at all like grog.
It says here that course 4, the main course, is the sixth sense. That doesn't even make sense.
Ah, but it does. For where the other 5 senses are limited to the finite experiences of the present, the sixth sense satiates the appetite for the infinite possibilities of the future.
The future? How do I feed something the future?
You already hold the answer to that question.
What about the dessert? This is one hungry sponge.
Ah, what is your favorite thing about dessert, Guybrush?
Running out before the check arrives?
No, it is the pleasurable shock of something different.
Ah. It says the feast for the senses ends with a bellowing belch.
Do not worry about this. If you provide La Esponja the first 5 courses, the location of the final course will undoubtedly reveal itself.
Ah, my favorite type of responsibility. The one that takes care of itself. Palate cleanser.
Something of such grand flavor as to send the senses back to square one.
Big flavor. Got it. Can you give me any more insight about the antipasta?
I can't say what exactly would be appropriate for the Feast of the Senses. Fetid sweetmeats, perhaps. Dry, aged, deep within the jungle. Something of that nature.
Oh, appetizing. I'm still drawing a blank about the powerful taste.
I sense it somewhere in Club 41.
So the sponge needs a big shock for dessert.
Yes.
All right, enough about the feast for now. Try not to get executed before I cure Elaine.
As you wish.
LeChuck!
Guybrush!
I would have bet my good hand I'd never say this, but thank you
For what? I've caused you nothing but despair.
for taking the fall back there, and for exposing the voodoo lady. I don't know what to make of any of it, but now I can focus on saving Elaine and dealing with the pox.
It is the very least I could do. But be careful, Guybrush.
I'm always careful.
This from the guy who proposed to his wife with a cursed engagement ring you stole from my hold?
Is that a dig? Is the evil demon pirate LeChuck developing a sense of humor? This is weird. Really, thanks again.
You don't need to thank me, my friend. I merely spoke the truth. They say that truth is the greatest barnacle scrubber you know.
Where have you been? I thought you were with Elaine.
Well, after leaving Spinner Cay, Elaine and I set out to finish releasing all those monkeys I'd captured. After we were finished releasing the last of them, Elaine caught wind of your trial, went into a poxed rage, seized a passing clam schooner, and made a beeline for Flotsam Island.
That's my girl.
Needless to say, I took my own vessel and headed after her. But in the middle of the night, my ship was sunk by a rogue wave. I was washed up on an island of cannibals, from whom I deftly escaped, using many of the self-same skills you taught me back on the Jerkbait Islands.
You know, it's amazing how easily man-eating tribes can be reasoned with.
Knowing I needed to get here more than ever, I lashed together a few bits of cannibal leftovers and warthog sinew to build a makeshift raft. Unfortunately, that was soon eaten by the sharks.
Oh no!
So I swam. I swam as fast as I could for 3 days.
And arrived just in time to save me from the gallows. Nicely done, buddy. Kudos to your swim instructor.
I was fueled by the fire of our budding friendship.
Have you seen Elaine?
No, not since she left me in a poxed rage.
She's been doing a lot of that lately. So you haven't seen Elaine then?
I'm afraid not. She's quite a handful.
You're telling me. All those thwarted attempts to marry her might have been blessings in disguise, huh? I can't believe the voodoo lady has been pulling your ghostly / demonic strings all these years.
It came as a shock to me as well. But her diary spells it all out. You, me, Elaine, we're all part of the voodoo lady's malevolent plans.
Malevolence is in the eye of the beholder, Guybrush Threepwood. I know this is difficult to understand, but things are not as they seem.
No, things seem remarkably convoluted, which is what I've come to expect from you.
I've always had your best interests at heart.
Well, what about my interests? Without your meddling, I could have lived a normal, happy pirate's life.
Ha! The destiny of LeChuck has never been normal.
How about the mountain of ice on the roller coaster of the damned? She was behind that?
Especially that.
I risked life, limb, and manatee to get La Esponja Grande, and it's a puny, worthless lump.
What?
Soak up the gargantuan wonder that is La Esponja Grande.
That is La Esponja Grande? But wasn't it supposed to hold infinite amounts of voodoo?
I know. What a crock.
The size of the sponge is meaningless. It is what you do with it that matters.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
you fight like a...
The sponge is still small.
Most unfortunate.
So, Miss Spooky Pants gave me this menu which will supposedly put more grande in my esponja.
Excellent.
You want to put some of your newfound deductive reasoning to the test and help me figure out what I need for the menu?
I'd give my beard to be able to help you, but I'm afraid my pirate mind is not fit for such things.
It explains why after all these years you still allowed me to get within a nautical mile of you with a bottle of voodoo root beer. Got any deep thoughts about this voodoo menu?
I'm afraid I'm useless here, Guybrush.
Sit tight, buddy. Once I save Elaine, you're next.
Don't worry about me.
Stan!
Threepwood! No hard feelings over all those various civil and criminal charges?
Water under the bridge.
Great.
A bridge with a fast-talking shyster / salesman dangling from it. Still trying to make a buck on my recently cleared name?
Nah, I sold all that junk to that Doro sap. I moved on to the next trial of the century. Flotsam Island versus LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady.
Yeah, how are sales going now?
Great! People can't get enough of the Voodoo Lady's murky moral ambiguity, mysterious unexplored backstory, and her ample...
La 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 la, I'm not listening, la la la.
voodoo charms. And as for LeChuck, well, let's just say the Lady Pirates love a tale of redemption. The whole bad boy made good angle.
Ah. Have the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck been put on trial yet?
Have they? It's the trial of the century.
Wait, I thought I was the trial of the century.
Yesterday's news, Threepwood.
So, what kind of case are you building against LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady?
Oh, I'm not prosecuting them. I'm defending them.
What? Why?
Why do I do anything, Threepwood? Money, pieces of 8, filthy lucre. That Voodoo Lady babe is loaded. Funny thing, though, she only let me take the case if I defend LeChuck, too.
Funny like a peg leg. What kind of souvenirs could you possibly be making out of the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck?
Oh, ye of little faith. Feast your eyes on the all-new People vs. LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady collection.
What's this?
That's a little decorative pin I've whipped up.
Trial of the Century 2. Electric Voodoo.
We're still working on a title.
What's that one?
That's our cursed cutlass of Cthulhu LeChuck doll. Press the button for its special transforming glow.
What's happening?
It's a little bright.
Yeah, we're still working out a few kinks.
What's that?
It's my entrancing voodoo lady dashboard good luck charm.
Ugh, disturbing.
What's happening?
On second thought,
Say no more.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to sell me your eye-bending jacket.
Give up my jacket? That'd be like Samson getting a buzz cut, or King Arthur losing Excalibur, or Bluebeard dyeing himself blonde.
Huh?
Without my jacket, my salesman mojo would wither away faster than a hothouse orchid in a pizza oven.
So that's a maybe? Sure you don't want to sell me your pupil-defying jacket? It's for a good cause.
This jacket stays with Stan until it literally falls off my back, Threepwood.
Have you seen my wife?
Have I? That crazy sea devil hit me up for one of my patented and perfectly passable porcelain power pirate treasure maps before hightailing it for the jungle. If we're lucky, that thing will keep her going around in circles for weeks.
Guess they decided to put the rug inside after it was cleaned. Hey, Krebs.
What do you want?
Hey, Krebs. Now that your case has been dismissed, care to join me in a little post-trial amicus curiae?
Was that a pickup line?
I don't know. My Latin's a little rusty. Bye. Looks like Elaine and Morgan have made a dog's breakfast of your buffet.
What? That mess? Oh, pshaw, my boy. That's just the typical aftermath of our weekly ladies' night buffet table. Our lady pirates may be easy on the eyes, but heaven help you if you get between them and our bottomless salad bowl.
Yikes. Hey, WP. I told you I was innocent.
Well, bully for you! Meanwhile, we're still all poxed, there's a creepy voodoo priestess in my jail, and your wife's still threatening to sack our town. Truly, these are the best of times.
Looks like Ladies' Night has finally come to an end.
I'm thinking about canceling it in favor of something a wee bit safer. Like Ultimate Mumbly Pig Night or Amateur Tattoo Night.
Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
How about another one of those Scab Island slings?
Coming right up. Here you go.
Hey, WP. Barkeep, I'd like to order a drink.
What'll it be?
How about some more of those volcano shots?
Sorry, one per customer.
Barkeep,
What'll it...
one grog. Neat.
Coming right up.
Bracing. I'm not giving away the key to... I don't think so.
4!
Yipes.
4!
Yipes.
Would you mind steering clear of the dartboard? A tournament.
Ouch!
Who go? Oh, it's you.
No hard feelings about being humiliated in open court?
No worries, mate. I've been humiliated so often it's kinda second nature to me by now.
Great.
Besides, I didn't really think it was much of a case anyway. But that Stan fella, he seemed to think I could make a pretty piece of eight off of your untimely execution. So I figured, what the heck?
Can I go back in? I think I left several useful items in there.
Court is adjourned until the new defendants prepare their cases.
What was that? Something sure shoved a short sword up his aft sail. Hello there, uninformed man on the street.
What do you want?
Are you as scandalized as I am by this trial?
I'm just glad that scum-sucking LeChuck and that scum-sucking voodoo lady will finally be brought to justice.
You suck a little scum and everyone wants your head. Have you seen my wife?
Does she have red hair, green eyes, and a mole in the shape of a cocker spaniel on her left thigh?
Yes.
Nope, haven't seen her.
See ya. What the? Morgan! What happened?
Went to get your hand.
You didn't have to do that.
Had to pay you back for all the trouble. Found Jacques. He told me.
What?
He told me.
What? What did the monkey tell you? Singe. Lepidoptera flotzimus accelerus. Like many of its more common cousins, the sharp-toothed flotsam island moth has a penchant for noshing on articles of clothing. Where Flotzimus accelerus differs is in the pain of its bites, which can be quite annoying, and the rapidity of its meals. A swarm of flotsam moths can strip a man down to his undergarments in mere seconds, and assuming the notoriously finicky moths approve of his wardrobe, of course. This must have been broken in the fight between Morgan and DeSinge. I hope the vole escaped. Auto trepanation helmet. Ow! What? My thumb! God, that blah. Duh. Ow! Ah! I'm blind! Ew. Ow! Whoa! Help? I could try to mix up those chemicals, but I'd probably just end up exploding. And not in the funny way. Singe will pay for this. It's broken. It'd take a 7-year correspondence course in mad sciencing before I'd even have a hope of fixing that thing. Vampiridae flotzimus sucrosus, the flotsam jungle firefly, are a common sight in flotsam's jungles, which they never leave. Although possessing no natural enemies, the flotzimus sucrosus has a notorious sweet tooth, drawing it inexorably to bodies of sugar water. Vampiridae, although possess sugar water. Darn, no more bananas. Curse you, banana god. It looks like Desinge is using my hand to make something called the jus de vie. The Vacalian wind control device? What is that creep doing with it now? That doesn't look good. It looks like Desinge is using my hand. Did Desinge murder you too? It's locked. Oh no. This is where the Marquis keeps all the severed limbs of the pirates he's operated on. Hey, you never know when a sack of severed legs is gonna come in handy. Or footy, as the case may be. Sorry. It's a sack full of severed legs. Ugh.